West 46th Street, New York City. The monitoring room, 7:59 a.m.
New privacy concerns as
Tensions between the communist regime and U.S. forces at Guantanamo Bay continue to climb.
Across a number of key
Disclosure of the memos
Traded
reveal a glimpse into
allegations
the
of
office.
human rights abuses today while attempting to stave off the diplomatic crisis.
Accused of overreach by rogue elements within Duchovny.
What is it? I know you're standing in the doorway.
They're waiting for you. Prime Elder? Did you hear me?
Spender, you see these scars?
On your head?
Do you know how many surgeries I suffered in an attempt to quieten voices like yours? The sheer, overwhelming noise of other people's thoughts that has assaulted my senses since childhood.
Oh, it looks like... many.
After a certain point, when it became clear that the condition could not be altered, I realized I would have to alter myself instead. To turn what I had thought of as a curse into a gift.
I see.
Now, I absorb information. I soak it up and process it and learn from it. I have studied psychology, technology, genetics. I have used what I have learned to reverse my position in the world, so that I am no longer the pawn in this game.
So that you are the king.
No, the Grand Master. I determine the fate of kings.
And what am I? Who are the men who are waiting for you?
You are shadows of men who once pursued me. You think you might somehow outwit me. You assume there are steps that you could take to stay ahead. But you know better, too. And that makes you afraid. This very moment, you are practicing techniques you hope to one day use against me, deflecting your intentions and shielding your thoughts. Jacket.
Where is it?
I'm not talking to you. Datapad.
Telekinesis.
What?
Another skill you have mastered.
No. That came with the alien DNA I carry. Now, tell them all I am ready. And inform them all they'd better be.
The X-Files, Stolen Lives, starring David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson. Episode 5, Elders.
Where is he, First Elder? Why must we always be kept waiting?
My friends, I fear we've been sold a bill of goods. Since our initial compact, there have been schisms in our group. Our projects were always of the highest stakes. Diversity of opinion was welcome, but each man knew his place. And when the whole was more important than the individual part he played.
More than 40 years of planning, built upon preparations dating back decades before. And we're still hiding in the darkness, waiting for the light.
What is light but a slow burning fire or an oncoming train? I think I prefer the darkness myself.
Don't get too comfortable in there. What's the point of hiding away when nobody's looking for you?
Esteemed members of the Syndicate, friends, elders, and sharers of secrets, good morning.
Good morning, Prime Elder.
I know you have waited to meet me, to understand why I have brought you back together.
You keep your secrets, while you know everything about us. What is the meaning of all this? We wait, while you make plans.
Yes, First Elder. You feel that yours were meticulously laid schemes of collaboration and subterfuge. The perfect conspiracy.
Indeed. What of our arrangements? What of all the work we've done?
You really don't see it, do you? Your conspiring was for nothing in the end. There's no one left who's looking to bargain with you.
We have experience. We have knowledge shared only amongst ourselves, as well as an obligation to use it for a common good.
But whose common good do you mean? Do you even know? You were once important men. Together, you orchestrated the greatest lie in human history. You concealed the truth of the alien colonists who had arrived here on Earth. You wrapped verifiable fact in conspiracy and secrecy. You experimented on innocent subjects in order to save your miserable lives. But you grew greedy and gluttonous, and in time depraved. So you failed, and then you fell.
Who are you?
Who I was would be a better question, Second Elder.
Very well. Who were you?
I was your victim, First Elder.
It's hot in here.
Listen, I've brought you back. And the good news is that I plan to use the best parts of you to further this organization's new goals, while discarding the rest.
What
are you doing?
Good grief!
I made you, and I can unmake you.
What have you done to us?
I have brought you back. The world is an open window, my friends. There are no more shadows for you to hide in. The time for secrets is over.
Yes.
Hey there, pretty lady. How about you and your fella come spend a little time in the video maze?
No thanks.
Well, don't get that cotton candy on your sharp suit now.
Clark County Fair, Clark County, Virginia, 11:32 a.m.
Just because I let you drag me away for an early lunch doesn't mean I'm on board with this whole hooky idea.
Agent Scully, I recall a time when proximity to my methods practically sent you off to confession all by themselves. You've come a long way, if you ask me.
I left word with Morales' office to reschedule my review.
And yet, so much farther to go.
Don't worry. I'll pretend I haven't seen you in days.
Come on, folks. Jump aboard the ride that takes you into the great beyond. Alien abduction.
We have got to ride that thing.
Are you kidding? Ah, Saved by the Bell. Hold my cotton candy for me. Mulder, I need to return this call.
This is regression, Scully.
I'll be right back. Hello, this is Dana Scully.
You could have turned your phone off for half an hour, Scully.
Countdown commencing.
Agent Mulder!
Somebody call?
I've been looking all over for you.
Whoa, easy now. If you need some help or anything, let's put that away and see what...
Don't you remember me, Agent Mulder? You must remember me, Agent Mulder. I know you do.
Wait.
Stay where you are!
Somebody call the paramedics. You just shot an innocent person.
You told me they'd come back for me, Agent Mulder. How could you forget about that?
Please, that woman's losing a lot of blood. She needs medical attention.
Why did you do it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Why did you let them come back?
Wait a second. Just wait a second. Maybe you do look a little familiar.
You always understood. You always believed in some higher truth.
Drop the gun. I'm a federal agent. Drop it now.
Of course. You agents work in pairs.
Drop it.
Yes. It's the only way things could be, I suppose. But you did this, Agent Mulder. Don't ever forget that.
No, put it down.
Someone call 911. Tell them FBI agents are present and request paramedics ASAP. Mulder, help me here.
Got a pulse?
No. That's 3 victims dead. And this perpetrator.
Did that woman say Mulder? Wasn't that what the shooter said before?
That guy is Mulder. He's in the FBI. I've seen him on TV.
Mulder, are you listening to me?
Sorry.
Did you know this woman?
I don't know, Scully. I just don't know.
FBI Headquarters, Washington, D.C., 3:18 p.m.
That's all I know, gentlemen.
Are we finished? Can I have my agent back now?
Thank you for the use of your office, Assistant Director Morales, and for your time, Agent Scully. Agent Mulder, I suspect we'll speak again after the General Counsel's office has been through your records.
But hopefully, the worst of it is over.
Whoa. Back up a little. My records?
Thank you, gentlemen. I assure you both that you'll have Agent Mulder's and my office's full cooperation.
Thank you.
Just a moment. What about protection for Agent Mulder?
Agent Scully.
Is he going to be included in any SHIELD action the General Counsel takes on the Bureau's behalf?
Thank you again, gentlemen.
Thank you.
But, Agent Scully, please sit down. So, what's your story here, Agent Mulder?
His story is that he was confronted by a crazy woman with a gun. She knew who he was, killed 3 people in front of him, and then put the gun in her own mouth and went boom.
Agent Mulder, please look at this.
What is it?
Agent Scully. The FBI knows from experience that Agent Mulder can speak for himself. Is that your signature, Agent Mulder? Is that your data reported in that case file?
Yes, it's mine.
What's this about, Mulder? What's in that file?
Agent Scully, when you were first assigned to the X-Files, were you ever made aware of a research project titled Chilmark?
As in Chilmark, Massachusetts? Agent Mulder was born there.
Are you aware that Agent Mulder was once reprimanded for the misuse of FBI funds when he used resources from an unrelated operation to interview self-described alien abductees?
It was 2 interviews, maybe 3, 4 tops.
I asked because details like these are currently being poured over by newsrooms everywhere. Interview requests for our resident American Idol are dwarfed only by the number of FOIA inquiries flooding the director's office as we speak. I'm sure if I turn on the TV...
The identity of Special Agent Fox Mulder as the alleged target of the gunwoman's interest.
There you go.
Agent Mulder has a history of what some have called unorthodox practices and others have characterized as downright criminal.
We're too deep into the 21st century for this stuff to stay hidden anymore, agents. It's all going to be out there now.
Mulder, I'm of the opinion you're going to need outside counsel here. Between both of our accounts, backed up by what other witnesses will corroborate, this will soon pass, but...
Just leave this one alone, Scully.
What? Mulder, what are you talking about?
I was so eager to discover the truth, I never meant to...
Mulder, what did you do?
She was nervous about talking to me. She claimed she'd been abducted. She wanted me to confirm what nobody else would believe.
You did know her?
Scully, I remember interviewing a woman named Caroline Ross at least 10 times back in 1991.
Why didn't you say?
She was a compelling case study. She recalled each and every detail of her abductions in detail. She was so grateful that anyone was listening to her, and I was ready to believe all of it. Her story was in line with what so many other abductees claim. I planned to make her a featured case in a paper I was writing. But then I discovered her medical history, the stuff she was hiding from me. Adolescent borderline personality disorder, periods of institutionalization, and recent full-on psychotic episodes. I withdrew the paper. I couldn't publish something so unreliably sourced. But this woman had unburdened herself to me. And what I saw as breaking off an inappropriate relationship, she saw as me turning my back on her.
It's okay. You couldn't have known.
It got uncomfortable after that. She'd keep attempting to see me. They had to issue a restraining order.
Caroline Ross was an unstable, unreliable individual. In her deluded state, she came to make you pay for what she took as rejection. You cannot be held responsible for any of this.
No, Scully, you don't understand. The woman who confronted me at the fairgrounds today, who screamed my name before putting a gun in her mouth, she was familiar to me, somehow. But Caroline Ross, the woman I interviewed and then, by her recollection, abandoned, she hanged herself back in 1991.
What?
I have no idea who that woman at the fairgrounds was.
Tonight, questions as FBI officials tried to get out in front of inquiries regarding the ethics of
We were given no comment regarding the FBI agent in question, but sources tell us a list of questionable and curious between the communist regime and U.S. forces at Guantanamo Bay continue to climb.
Agent Mulder, your time has come. What is it, Spender?
The car is here to take you to the airport.
I know.
Agent Mulder, how many subjects did you lead on, Agent Mulder? Are there others?
No comment. Please let us through.
You go on. Just leave this to me.
What about you?
Just go.
Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen of the press, Agent Mulder has urgent business. Please refer any questions to the FBI General Counsel's office.
Wait a minute. Can you answer a question? What about your relationship with Agent Mulder? Is it true that you were there with him at the fairgrounds when the shooting
Is it a romantic relationship?
Mr. Mulder.
Sorry, pal, but I'm going to play hard to get with you media types until... Guys, surrounding me isn't going to get you a quote. I need to talk to my attorney.
Bag him.
Meanwhile, in Washington, D.C., a Federal Bureau of Investigation spokesman issued the following statement.
We are actively and diligently looking into the details of this morning's shooting incident in Virginia, as well as any and all allegations into agent conduct, misuse of federal money, and improper allocations of resources.
Prime Elder. He's definitely gone. One can never be sure with him. Well, the time for secrets might be over, my telekinetically gifted young friend. For while you are down at your laboratory in Cuba, the time for the elders will dawn.
FBI Headquarters, Washington, D.C., 8:35 a.m.
Agent Scully, good morning. I'm sorry. Assistant Director Morales is in a meeting.
That makes two of us, I guess.
Agent Scully, you can't just go in there.
Along with Mulder's disappearance, something or somebody is still penetrating our firewalls.
Which could be more than happenstance. We've doubled the effort to seal the...
Mulder never reported in following the media circus you threw him into yesterday.
A.D. Morales, D.D. Skinner, I'm sorry. I did say...
Thank you, Angela. We'll deal with this.
Good morning, Agent Scully.
I didn't hear from him at all last night, and he hasn't turned up back at work this morning. Where's Agent Mulder? What's happened to him?
We were just wondering the same thing. He has a lot of questions to answer.
Here.
What is this?
I ordered a rapid DNA profile on the woman who confronted Agent Mulder at gunpoint yesterday.
Who told you to do that, Agent Scully?
There are inconsistencies in her records. Anomalous cross-references and gaps in the sequencing I cannot explain. I know this sounds like a stretch, but I'm of the suspicion that this woman was not entirely who she'd been posed to resemble.
That is a matter for local authorities to determine, Agent Scully.
I'd like to continue my own investigation, as I think it might clear Agent Mulder of any suspicion related to...
Agent Scully, we're here this morning to discuss the very real possibility that Agent Mulder might have stolen secrets from the FBI. It's up to this department to determine whether to refer his rogue status to the Attorney General's office for formal charges.
Mulder hasn't stolen anything. Why are you discussing him in secret like this?
If you have any idea as to his current whereabouts, you need to let us know.
Well, I'd ask the same of you, but I'm not so sure you'd return the courtesy.
Agent Scully. Agent Scully, wait. We need to tread carefully here. There are very powerful forces weighing in on what they see as a challenge to their enterprise.
I thought our enterprise was justice and enforcement of the nation's laws, Deputy Director Skinner.
If you think powerful forces sought to tear Mulder down before, you haven't met the special interests that exist in the 21st century. And the more we resist their efforts to control the levels of government, the bigger the target we all become.
Look at these results. Initial DNA scans indicate a 92.6% match of the victim's genetic material.
I'm not with you.
That leaves over 7% of Caroline Ross, or whomever appeared to show up at those fairgrounds and set this thing into motion unaccounted for.
A clone?
You know Mulder didn't steal anything from the Bureau. So what are we dealing with here, Walter?
I'm not entirely certain yet, but I think it's dealing with us at this point.
And it's got Mulder.
Oh. How long was I out?
It's all right.
What? Where the hell am I? An orange jumpsuit? What the f...
Don't worry. I've made sure to keep you segregated from the general population.
Who's talking? Who are you? Where am I? What am I doing here? Hello? Telepathy voice, or whatever you are?
Your cell is unlocked. You can move freely about the facility.
Is this a prison?
I'm sorry for what's happened. I hope, once this is all over, that you'll be able to forgive me.
I don't think that's very likely, to be honest with you. U.S. Marine Guards?
Don't be afraid, Agent Mulder. I've only got your best interests at heart.
Who are you?
You'll want to see inside the next building.
What's in there?
Nothing that can harm you.
That's so reassuring, coming from a voice inside my head. Tell me where I am.
Come inside and see.
Okay, I'm seeing, but I'm not understanding. This felt like a military base, but in here it's more like a research facility. These rows of frosted glass tubes on each side, like pods. What are they? Why are you showing me this?
You'd never have come down here by yourself.
Down where?
Your very nature is the reason I had no choice but to set these plans in motion.
Wait a minute. Are there bodies in these tanks? They're so misted up. Great. A naked old guy. No. Wait. Spender? Holy shit. You cloned the Cancer Man?
You were curious as to how he had returned from the dead.
Unbelievable.
Is it so hard to accept that this is possible?
Jeez. Another Spender?
After everything you've been privy to already, I expected a more sober reaction to my work.
That's funny, you see, because I could use a stiff drink right about now.
I'm sure.
What's the game, then? Are these hybrids, alien-human mashups, cloned like assembly line parts?
Pretty much. It's harder to do than you make it sound.
Who else is here, then?
Take a look.
Well, what do you know? Aren't you a well-manicured and handsome devil? And this one, Mr. X, presumably a spare, as the hybrid who came to see me dissolved into a mess of green gloop. So, the well-manicured man and Mr. X, Illuminati and informants both. So what's the play here, Mystery Voice? I'm a guest at your tea party. You've set up the dollhouse and arranged the place settings at this kiddie table, so where's the twist? I'm ready for the rest of your little conspiracy.
Then turn around, Fox.
What?
It's good to see you, son. Aren't you gonna say anything? Or do I have to do all the talking here?
Whoa. Just hold it right there.
Whatever you want, son.
I have seen some messed up stuff, I've got to say, but this...
You've had to accept a lot of things, Fox. But I only burdened you with what I thought you could handle.
You're not my father. You're dead.
Well, I seem alive enough to me. You may not realize it, but I'm a good 92% of the man who raised you. Complete with the majority of memories and experiences you share.
Who's doing this? Why?
You're being shown the logical extension of a project that's been worked on for many lifetimes now.
You want to turn a career's worth of work against me and ruin my life? Fine. But these parlor tricks are amateur hour material. You got me?
You've got to understand, son.
I'm not talking to you, clone.
I only ever tried to protect you and our family, even as it cost us all so much.
Would you... This is insane. You gave Samantha to them. You and Spender gave them my sister.
I can't...
You sacrificed your daughter and left me to watch her abduction.
I never intended...
You conspired with those monsters in the Syndicate to commit the highest of treasons, and you ripped our family to pieces in the process.
I never meant to hurt you, son.
For the last time, I'm warning you to stop calling me son.
You need to listen to me, Fox. There isn't much time.
What?
He's using us, Fox. We only have the briefest, fleeting flashes of self-control.
Who? Who's using you?
I stand ashamed of the choices I made so long ago. When you were just a boy.
Dad? Dad?
I promised to show you everything, Mulder.
Who is that up there? Who are you?
Don't you recognize me?
Take the eyeglasses off.
I don't think that will help. Shall I tell you a story that may help you place me?
Do I get a choice?
Clovis, New Mexico, 2001. Remember?
New Mexico, well, yes, but...
It was always dangerous for me to go out and buy supplies. I was always a target.
You late for something, son?
There was no reason for a sheriff and his deputy to stop a kid carrying a bag of groceries.
What you holding there, boy?
I tried the easy way out. Told him it was nothing, just supplies. But I knew it wouldn't be enough.
You all right, Chief?
The sheriff was hostile, but his deputy just seemed confused.
Get back in the car.
He's just a kid who was running across the street. He doesn't fit the description of the guy.
I said get back in the damn car.
Take it easy, Chief.
Now, right now, and real slow, you will show me where you're running to, son. Hear me?
I told him I could hear him just fine. But I knew my options were running out. I would have to do something. The deputy would have to be my instrument of salvation. I walked slowly to the cruiser.
Whoa, where the hell do you think you're going, boy?
Dispatch, this is Deputy Carter. Request assistance out on West Mesa, over. What is it, kid?
Don't look at my deputy when I'm talking to you, boy.
This is dispatch, confirming assistance request. Can you describe the situation, Deputy?
I don't... know.
What are you doing to him, boy?
Think I... need this.
Deputy? Hello?
There was a screwdriver in the patrol vehicle glove box. I'd found it in the deputy's memory. But the sheriff's mind was foggy, confused. I knew what he was at once.
And I'm going to ask you one more time, son.
I'm sorry, Chief. I can't help it. The kid's making me do this.
What the hell?
The screwdriver was crude for a stiletto weapon. But it would do.
I can't help it.
The gun was now turned on me. Things could still go south. But the screwdriver had done its job. The sheriff dissolved into a green mess on the sidewalk.
A shape-shifting alien.
A bounty hunter. They came after me in all shapes and sizes. But I had learned to use my abilities, to enter minds, to check every adult I came across, especially those in positions of authority. I ran back to the hideaway. They were on the hunt, and they'd picked up our trail.
You ran back to the hideaway?
To the naked eye, it was just cracked earth and sagebrush. But that concealed the doorway. I dragged it open, needed to share what I'd found out.
With me?
I stopped that bounty hunter from finding you. There were others, too. A boy, having to face down and deal with stuff no child should be asked to face. And all I asked in return, for hiding you from those who were after you, was that you trust me.
The men who were after me